Hey, girlfriend, you know who you are. You have big, big dreams. You want to write a book, stand on a TED Talk stage, be a life coach offering wisdom from your RV in Montana, a cafe in Barcelona, or a beach chair in Tulum. Your other girlfriends and your family, they don't always get your biz savvy. Why do you want to leave your JOB? Because you're a C.A.T.S, aka coach, author, thought leader, and speaker. Meet other change makers like yourself and find out how they make it happen. This is the Big Meow podcast.
Welcome to the Big Meow podcast brought to you by C.A.T.S Network. I'm your host, Angela Howard, and I'm here today with Tameka Williamson. And parents, listen up. She is the CEO and president of Celestial Enterprises, doing business as, listen to this, college for free. She has helped families send their children to college with little to zero debts and has curated over 75 million in scholarships. Welcome, Tameka. We are very excited to have you on this show and have you share with us about your business.
Thanks for having me, Angela. I look forward to sharing with your audience.
Yeah. So most of us are coaches, authors, thought leaders, and speakers, which means we are a bunch of entrepreneurs.
Yes.
So anyway, and most of us have children, a lot of us have children, and some are going to college, but any way that we can stretch our dollars, we're particularly interested in. So please tell us a little bit about your business.
Well, College for Free was, it started with a book that transformed into a movement because I didn't realize what I was sitting on. My initial goal was to give first generation students and families a roadmap on how to get to college because that was me trying to figure it out. It transformed into a movement because we have a major debt crisis here in this country. And I started to see more and more families going into debt unnecessarily because they just didn't know how to play the college admissions game and get more money. So that's where we're at in helping more families avoid student loan debt and or minimize it as much as possible.
So I'm a part of I'm in the Southeast, and we have a woman's fund, and our whole thing is about education because education is the general leveler of all socioeconomic situations. And I'm curious about the obstacles you run up against with first letting these children, letting these teenagers know, and probably starting back in elementary school, that college is a possibility. What are some of the things that you run into? Well, I would say with the children and with the parents.
Well, it varies across the board because on one end you have the information that's not being given in the school system because families, we came up in an era where our school systems, they were the end all be all in terms of the resource, but that has changed. So our counselors, it's not their job to help our kids get ready for college. So what happens is families are relying on the school system to tell them when to do the SAT, when to apply for scholarships, how to apply for schools, and they don't know how to do it, let alone do they have the knowledge or the bandwidth or the capacity because it's not in their job description. And then on the other hand, you have families who they want their kids to go to college and they're operating in the old paradigm. You know, we could wait till our kids get to high school. And so what happens is they end up behind the 8-ball and they're trying to figure it out. And that increases the chance that they end up needing student loans because they didn't take the time. They didn't know they needed to start applying for scholarships in kindergarten. They didn't know they should have had their tests done before sophomore junior year. And so now we have this lack of information and the old myths and bad beliefs. And we end up sending our kids down a path that lands them in a lifetime of debt. Well, it's kind of like death.
It's a money death.
It's
for
a money death. Yes.
Money death. No Freudian slips around here.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
That's great. So give us the roadmap. I mean, I'm already phenomenalized that you have to think about college in kindergarten, but for a parent, please give us a little top-end roadmap to prioritize what they need to be doing now.
Absolutely. So to try to keep this as simple as possible, because there's nothing about the college admissions process that's simple. Let's just start there. But at minimum, I advise parents, at least in middle school, start having the conversation about their future. So what is it that you want to major in? Start exposing them to career opportunities. You want to do this so you can get an idea of their interest level. So that way, when they get when they get ready to start high school, you can make sure they're on the right path academically. So exposure and having the conversation in middle school at the minimum. Then right when they're leaving 8th grade, going into 9th grade, you want to be involved in the conversation in terms of setting up their course load, because depending on their the final destination, if they don't start their 9th grade year off on the right path, taking the right type of classes, by the time they become a senior, they can find themselves on a taking classes that were not college ready. That's going to allow them to compete for more selective schools, as well as they can find themselves taking classes that doesn't set them up to get into those top programs. So like if you're going into engineering or those specialized fields, nursing, especially STEM fields, that becomes problematic. And now your child has to take all these prerequisites, which increases the amount of time they're in school, which increases the amount of money you're going to spend. So that would be the next highlight or chunk of task I would say they would need to. The third thing I would say is start looking for scholarships sooner than later. There are actually scholarships available as early as kindergarten. So map out a plan, start working on scholarships every week, make that part of your weekly routine. And then the last thing I would say is, parents, you just have to stay involved. Continue to meet with the schools, hold them accountable, find out what's going on, because opportunities do funnel through the schools. So you want to stay engaged, and you want to make sure your child is engaged, not just academically, but in extracurricular activities.
Wow. Thank you for all that advice. I hope everybody is out there listening. If not, send this podcast to all your family friends, right?
Absolutely. Yes.
So share with us a recent success.
A recent success. Wow. Let's see. Oh, so one of our scholars, I did a review over her financial aid package. So she got into American University and she's going debt free. And so we had a chance, the parents, to talk to them and give them some advice on how to make that happen. And as a result of that, she's able to go to American University. She will be starting in the fall, and she's going to be able to go without any debt.
Wow. And that's I think you said in your rap sheet about the debt and how our student debt system, I guess, is just broken. I hate to say it that way, but just really, really broken. And do you have any advice for, let's say, for the kids? How about the kids? I mean, so we got the parents, so speak to the children now.
This is what I tell all my scholars. This is your process. It's not ours. We already got our credentials, whatever it may be. So what I always encourage our students to look at it as this is your life. You are the project manager of your life. So I need you to demonstrate the leadership skills the leader you are, and own that whole process. So have pride in your work ethic, have pride in your work product, get involved, because everybody's looking for a leader. So if you're looking to go to college, that's great. If you're not looking to go to college, that's okay as well. I like to make sure that is very clear, because a 4-year degree is not for everybody, because that's another path that leads people to debt. Find what works, get a certification, get a trade, get something, go to the military. At the end of the day, you have to have a game plan. So start thinking about what that game plan is for you, that's going to make the best life for you, so you can live independently on your own. That means you not go back home and live with parents.
We all appreciate that.
So that's what I challenge our students to do. Start exploring those ideas now, own it, research what that path, what it takes to get there, and then work it daily. We don't get nowhere by just saying, Siri, tell me how to do this. You have to put some sweat equity in it, and you have to put some work towards making it happen.
Right. So what's the big picture for you? What's next?
That is Angela, that's a great question because actually I am working on some licensing the program, and I have a school, right? And literally we just did the contract, everything, talked about all the details of it yesterday. So I'm about to work with the school. And so next steps for me is really to license the program. So other organizations, other schools, people can learn the college for free model, and they can institute it into what they already have, their own curriculum, so that they can help their kids get on a better path to avoiding student loan debt. Because I can't save everybody. It's not meant for me to save everybody, but I can teach you how to do it so that we can save our next generation and help them forge a path forward that decreases the chance for them needing debt so that they can do other things and live their best life.
Wow. Wow. Thank you so much. So how do we find you, Tameka?
You can find me by going to collegeprepboss.com. That's probably the simplest way. Go to collegeprepboss.com. It'll connect you to all social media platforms, and it'll give you information about what we're doing, as well as it allows you to get on our mailing list.
Wow. Thank you so much for spending time with us today and giving us all this wonderful advice and nuggets, how to get our kids to college for free or debt free. What a wonderful, wonderful thing you're doing for our nation. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for having me. It's definitely been a pleasure.
Yeah, you have a good one. We wish you all the luck and the greatness in your life as you move forward.
Thank you so much. Same to you.
All right. Bye now.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the Big Meow podcast, sponsored by C.A.T.S Network. If you liked what you heard, please take a moment to subscribe and share this podcast with your friends. You can also join our network filled with positivity and possibility. Visit www.catsnetworking.com to join us and learn more, together with your magical, motivated, and mystical new friends at C.A.T.S Network. Let's transform 1 million lives with your message. Are you feeling isolated, sitting at home in your PJs? Or perhaps you're tired of the comfy sweatpants with holes in them that are hidden just below the camera? I mean, you could puke at the thought of another day of Zoom meetings and reporting to your BOSS. Do you want freedom from your home office desk or the office cubicle? Do you want freedom from your current career? Or are you frustrated that your online biz dreams are going nowhere? It's all too overwhelming. Where do you start? All the tech, the choices, and your message. Yep, I said your message, your brand, your voice. What is it? Do you even know what that means? Do you need a biz coach but don't want to invest the big bucks? Let's face it, being a solopreneur is lonely, but you don't have to do it alone. And here's a solution. Join C.A.T.S Network. C.A.T.S Network is a woman-only membership community exclusively available to you, the life coach or executive coach, the author, the thought leader, or the public speaker. If you identify with this list or want to work on adding some of these to your skill set, C.A.T.S is the place for you. Check us out at www.catsnetworking.com. That's C.A.T.S networking.com. Because let's face it, cats are better together.